Hey!
Wow.
It's been a minute.
I don't even know who you are.
My name is Andrew Larson.
You stopped texting me.
That's not true.
I had to go to the Find My. I found you in the middle of the ocean, and I was like,
on
is
a
this search and
boat,
rescue?
Tim.
I was getting ready for search and rescue.
I was on a cruise. You knew that.
I was in a group chat with Frank, and Frank was like, Tim, have you seen Andrew? And I'm like, let me check his Find My. He hasn't talked to me.
You have your own Find My? Or you have each other's Find My?
This is for accountability
You're
purposes,
like a
Adam.
weird
Nice.
This
couple.
is
I like that.
That's
I was gonna
the
yeah,
kind of friend that we are.
I had Frank on Find My for a minute, and then he removed me.
No,
I don't know where he
You
goes.
legitimately removed me.
You got a new phone. You got a new phone.
We'll talk about that later.
No longer sharing location.
After this conversation, we will all be sharing locations.
Also, this is our friend Adam. Some of
Hey,
you
Adam.
know Adam.
Hey,
Some of
hi.
you don't know Adam.
Hello.
But we're hanging out with him today, and yesterday was Sunday.
This
This right here, this moment, this experience.
is the morning after.
Welcome to the Morning After Ministry Show, a caffeine-fueled look back on the week and ministry that was.
Laura says, we totally agree. Laura, all is right in the world when I'm sitting here handling company payroll.
Sounds like a real grown-up job, and I'm glad I don't have to do it.
What do you think we're doing? This is very grown up.
You know,
You have an internship here? What's going on?
I'm just saying, I'm so glad I don't have to do payroll. That's not something that my heart could handle.
Amen.
Could
Well-
handle a lot of brisket.
Look, if this is your very
cannot handle
first
payroll.
week jumping in, this is what we do each and every Monday. We've never missed.
Except for
I'm
the
lying.
past 2 months.
I'm lying. It's been a minute.
It's been a busy couple of months.
Ben says, I just found this new podcast. That's
Ben,
hurtful.
We never took a summer break before. In 7 years.
And to be fair, you took the summer break. Frank and I, every week, were like, hey, are we good? And Andrew's like, no, I'm on a boat again.
I was on a boat one time.
Every time.
I was on a boat one
He's like a
time.
lifetime boater now, huh?
I have never been gone more than I was this summer.
Oh, we all know.
I was in New York at one point. I was at a denominational meeting that I usually skip, but it was in Orlando, so I couldn't skip it. I was in Arkansas, and then my family went on a cruise.
Laura, I'm not even going to put that comment on the screen. I don't know if you're joking or not.
Well, her husband's the CEO, so
Okay,
it's
good.
okay.
Good.
Are they at a Coldplay concert?
They're not at a Coldplay concert.
Laura, that is the
but
best
her
thing.
husband is the CEO.
That is so funny.
So here's the thing.
That is so funny.
I had Wi-Fi on the cruise because I had grades due, and I had a sermon to write because, unlike Tim, I don't just flippantly take summers off of preaching. But so I had Wi-Fi.
What?
I did it too. Don't
I
worry.
had
What?
I had Wi-Fi on the cruise. My wife did not, and so yesterday at lunch, her brother and I are laughing at all of these Coldplay memes, and she has no idea what we're talking about, and I had to explain it to her.
Oh, boy.
And then I kept showing them to her all day, and she was not amused.
They're never ending.
There was one where it was Corey and the girl he went on the one date with who wasn't Topanga.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
I thought it was hilarious, and she's like, you can just stop showing me these now. I don't think they're nearly as funny as video.
City Lights Church says, I've had to fill... Oh, this is awful. We're so
sorry.
sorry. I've had to fill my Mondays at 11 with actual pastoral work. Glad I can finally relax. Hey, if you're looking for a good church in the Scranton, PA area, City Lights Church.
Electric City.
City Lights Church.
Listen, if they take off
They never
for
take off on
John
Sunday.
Legend concerts in the parking lot, what did they do over the summer? I just assumed they're like, hey, we'll see you on Labor Day?
I don't know how many pop stars come through the area in Scranton, PA, but...
Or is it just during elections that the pop stars show up in Scranton to stump for their favorite?
Look, here's the deal. This is what we do each and every Monday, like I said.
Every Monday for 7.5 years.
We get together, we talk the weekend ministry that was. Originally,
We're
it
talking
was...
the months in ministry that were.
Originally, it was just Andrew and I, and we've, as you can see, expanded a bit.
They can tell that I've expanded because I was 130 pounds when we started this show.
We've expanded.
We have expanded. We have several guys. I hopefully maybe you might know Frank. Frank, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
How was Odessa, Texas?
Dude, it was Odessa, Texas.
Do you have any barbecue?
I did have it was called a Texas cheesesteak, which was a brisket sandwich with queso on it.
Oh,
I mean,
that
it was
sounds
delicious.
wonderful.
I can't eat that every day.
Did you get you a Permian Panthers t-shirt or anything?
I did not.
How do you go to Odessa and you don't come away with any
I saw the
Panther-
stadium. It was crazy. It's like
Is
a
that
college
near
stadium that high school played.
Magnolia Farms?
No, that's nowhere near Magnolia Farms.
Frank was hanging
That
out with
is-
Chip and Joe.
You go
Talk
to
about the
Texas
news.
and you just go west and you keep going.
It's literally 45 minutes away from the New Mexico border. That's
Yes,
how far
it
it
is.
Andrew Steff said that was
All
the
the way
worst
out there.
character to ever be thrown into Boy Meets World.
Yes, I'm aware, which is why it was funny that she was in the Coldplay meme. It was hilarious.
Calling Boy Meets World BMW is a level of fandom. It's so cool.
You got to know what you're talking about. I know. I was like, what does that have to do with cars?
Well, I've never thought about BMW.
My kids hate these shorts. You know it's summer when Tim breaks out the fun shorts. I do. I wear some ultra shorty shorts for summer.
Oh my. Well,
They're Steph, you should see Adam's
Middle
shorts.
school girls everywhere
There's
would be
parts-
getting dress coded
there's
for what
parts
Tim and
of,
Adam are wearing under the table right
Tim's upper inside thigh. I've never seen my upper inside thigh. Like,
So-
it's pretty
oh
hard.
my gosh.
now. We were
When your quads are so strong, there's only so much you can do.
It's summer.
we went to this national park in Cozumel, and it said like when we booked the excursion that they are a no chemical sunscreen because it's bad for the reef and all that stuff. Of course, it wasn't enforced at all, and everybody else just dousing themselves with sunscreen. But I wanted to. From a family of scuba divers, I get it. So I didn't put on any sunscreen, and I was wearing my shorter than you.
Your fun shorts.
I was not wearing board shorts. I was wearing swim trunks, and so I was like, hey, I'm going to see if I can get the thighs a little bit pink here, and. Turns out that southern Mexico is way closer to the equator even than Tampa, Florida.
Wow.
No.
And I got some crispy thighs. It was
It's not Popeyes.
not
Crispy
love
thighs.
Popeyes.
Yikes.
Adam, thanks for joining us today. We're excited to hear about what you've been up to all summer too, buddy. Adam's up
man.
at
Yeah.
Sunrise Community Church, one of our partners in the collective.
Do you have any new books out, Adam?
Oh gosh, I actually do.
We could drop a link and everything.
You're looking for a great book on Romans chapter 8.
I do. It's been a fun project. It's from a sermon series way back in 2021, sermons on Romans 8 called The Highest Peak.
That was 2021.
2021.
Editing books takes a long time.
And when it's like just a side thing, and I don't have time to do this, it takes someone else
Like that
doing
girl
it.
in Boy Meets World.
There you go.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Side thing.
It's true. Steph says, when Tim wore those shorts to Universal, my kids joked no one believed he was my husband, but they would think he was the fun uncle.
Fun gunkle.
It's gunko.
That's more like Cousin Eddie then.
It's a long story, but there were quite a few gentlemen that wanted to chat with me. Earl said, I missed you.
No, tell me about that lore. I want to know more about that.
Look, I was in my fun shorts. I was in a tank top, and there was a couple of guys that were like, "We love your tank top. Where'd you get it from?" And I was like, "Oh, it's at the Jurassic Park store." And they're like, "Oh, this is our first time here. Can you show us where the Jurassic Park store is?" So I was like on the app, and I was like, "Yeah, guys, it's right here. Here's the." So they just want to know where it was a JP tank top. Nothing to see here, boys and girls. CJ says,
You
"Hey,
know, my summer has not been quite that eventful.
nice of Andrew to get back to work.
You
Earl,
know,
we've missed you.
CJ, that
We've
is
missed you.
hurtful and offensive. I missed one Sunday in the pulpit, and by in the pulpit I mean in the chair in front of the bar stool, or in the bar stool in
I
front
have
of the
only
bar
missed one Sunday."
No, I missed preaching one Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry that Tim is developing a preaching
and it
cohort.
was 4th of July weekend.
That's true.
Is the only Sunday I did not preach all summer. I was gone Monday through Saturday sometimes, but I did my job, CJ.
Earl says Tim's fun shorts are him dipping his toe into Mormonism. Okay, this is a
What?
different topic, not Mormonism, but I do want to hear summer preaching schedules. How often do you guys typically take off? Andrew doesn't. He just is gone Monday through Saturday, returns home on Sunday, then leaves again on Monday.
Sometimes.
Adam,
Sometimes that's
what
it
is
calls
your
for.
summer preaching schedule? Are you taking off more
For the
Sundays than
record,
usual?
I am the only solo pastor on this panel right now. So
That's true.
Everybody else has other people on staff that they can tap.
We didn't need that caveat, Adam.
True. I generally have to fight with my elders to preach 2 or 3 times a summer. They just love to take over in the summer, and so I generally have a break, and I can hang back and write some stuff and relax a little bit more than normal. And so I've only preached twice this summer.
Only twice this summer.
That's it.
Wow.
Do you feel like you're cheating cashing paychecks?
No, I'm still there every week, planning everything and doing all the other stuff. I'm just not filling the pulpit.
So what you're saying is you're sitting there listening to less professional preachers because like you are the professional. Like that's your job.
Apparently, according to some people.
Okay.
According to some people.
I think it's if I'm gonna be there, it's easier to preach than to sit and organize for somebody else to be there. We had like a minute for mission for someone who does a campus ministry yesterday, and just putting that together for 5 minutes was exhausting.
Oh man.
It is. Sometimes it's easier to Just preach.
I'm good to be at church and not preach, but I'm not good to not be at church if I'm in town. It's like we
Yeah.
do sabbatic Sundays for our staff, and it's like, hey, every 7 weeks don't show up. But for me, if I'm in town, even on my sabbatic, I'm probably still coming to church, even if I'm not preaching, because it just feels weird to not be there if I'm in town. So I told Steph this past weekend, because I was in town, I wasn't supposed to be on Sunday, but I was like, I can't miss. Like, there's something, I don't know, it's like inside of me that I just can't
Really?
shake it. Yeah,
So-
if I'm in town,
I always enjoy going to one of y'all's places when I have a
it's what I should do.
week off.
It's what I should do.
Tim,
You know?
I've been here 8 years, and Adam's
next
never
month-
been here on a Sunday, but cool. cool.
Next month,
It's a little
you
too
have
far for
me
me.
preaching twice.
It is very far away.
Yeah.
Can one of those times you wear the outfit you wore to the park, the shorts and the tank top? I just want to see it.
Just for a sermon.
That would be
illustration.
crossing
On a
lines.
Sunday?
That would be
Or
crossing
I was
lines.
gonna say, if you
And
guys,
then you're going to bring it up in the sermon.
If
aren't
you
you?
guys-
Maybe not.
I mean, if you wear it, he's going to talk
Still in
about it.
1 Corinthians.
There's no way he's not talking about it.
Yeah.
But,
I'm trying to think, the two passages I'm preaching on Romans 8:28 and Philippians 4:13. Show off your gains. That'd be a good reference to.
I can
the
do all things.
The inappropriate use of Philippians 4:13.
I can do all gains through Christ.
Yeah.
I'm sure you
That's the
can get
one.
a Philippians 4:13 tank top to wear.
Oh, that might actually happen.
I'm sure you
Jimmy
can.
Tammy Larkin says, "What's up, fellas? What's up to you?" Scranton says, "Why don't you get up here on your week off?" So City Lights Church is inviting us to Scranton on our week off.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know if you'd be open for church that week. Maybe.
Do you take Spirit flights? How do you get to? What's the best way to get?
Is there like
to,
an office show tour?
I don't.
I'm
know.
pretty
I don't
sure
I'm sure
something, yeah.
there's an office show tour, but also they did not have a Chili's in Scranton for several years, and they reopened a Chili's, and it's themed exactly to the 2005 theming of Chili's. So it looks like the Chili's
Is there a Dundee on the wall?
in the
There are
season
Dundees.
2 episodes of The Office.
Jimmy says, "Tim, your dad did an amazing job." My dad preached at Lakeview yesterday,
Oh,
which is
I
another
saw
reason why I didn't
that.
want to
I
miss.
saw
Like,
that.
I don't
That was
get,
sweet.
I don't get to see my dad preach a lot anymore. So when he does
Yeah.
preach, it's kind of fun to be there. Of course, all of my kids and my nieces and nephews who were also in town and came, we were all kind of sweating because we didn't know. We knew he was going to talk about us because his passage was.
There's going to be a family sermon illustration.
Yeah, he did train up a child. He did the train up a child, and so that was his passage. And so he did talk a lot about the Miller family, which made my family very nervous.
I don't know if this is going to be offensive to you or your father.
Which
There's
means
one
it's
way
going to
find
be.
out.
I
There's
was
one
in
way
town.
to find out.
I was in town, but my wife heard the sermon, and I said, "Oh, how was Steve?" She's like, "He's like a more sage Andy Stanley." And I was like, "Okay."
Why
Wow.
would that be offensive to anyone?
I don't know. I don't know how.
That's a compliment.
I don't know how the panel feels about Sir Andy Stanley, so I just wanted to know.
You know how one person feels about this.
My dad, I told him after church that
I
was
went-
one of the best sermons he's ever preached at
I
Lakeview.
went to
It was
Dallas
so
Seminary
good.
because I had a man crush on Andy Stanley.
Dana says Steve Miller was excellent. He hit an absolute home run. CJ, I don't know. Is there a spinoff coming out? Is that actually happening?
Yeah,
It's-
something.
Is it really?
It's
They
yes,
attempted one
it's
and
a
it didn't work.
newspaper company or something like that. I know Domhnall Gleeson's in it. I saw a picture of him standing on a desk or
Guys,
something.
we have direct flights from Tampa to Scranton.
Probably Allegiant.
Well, that's
it-
fine. The
Yeah.
ground in the sky.
I love Allegiant because it's at a Clearwater Airport, which is 10 minutes from my house.
Oh,
Absolutely.
wow.
You take flights at Clearwater Airport?
Yes.
He does.
Where's
That
that
is
go?
crazy.
Anyway,
It goes
Lots of
It
places.
goes to Arkansas.
Is it like quadruple?
It
price?
goes to
No,
Arkansas.
it's dirt cheap because it's Allegiant.
Anyway, this is not interesting. for
Frank,
podcast.
I can,
I just don't know
I can
anyone who's
sell
ever
you-
taken that airport.
I take that airport. If my family is going to Arkansas, that is the airport we take because
Interesting.
Allegiant flies directly into either Northwest Arkansas or Little Rock. It's the only way to get to Arkansas without a layover.
Smart.
And it's Allegiant, so it's like $40 each way, and then your suitcase is $300.
all right, Frank,
Yeah,
you were not at
no
Lakeview
joke.
yesterday. You were preaching in Odessa,
Frank,
but you've
how many-
also been, hang on, this is interesting because you've had several camp speaking gigs
Yes,
this summer.
How many states have you preached in?
So what has the tour been like for Frank, who's also cashing in Lakeview checks while traveling the country, which is great. So
No, I'm replying to all my emails.
he is. To be fair, every
I'm the
text and
only
email
one
he's
actually
on.
working this summer.
You of all people.
I had a layover in Houston yesterday. And my phone's blowing up. Where is this beach party? And I was like, dude, I'm not there. I don't know. Okay, so I flew over 6,000 miles in 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
I spoke in Chicago. I spoke in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and yesterday I spoke in Odessa, Texas. Yeah, the first two. There's a camp called CIY, Christ in Youth. Every year I do about 2 or 3 dates with them, and I speak into a room of like 1,000 high school kids, and it's so fun. I get to share the gospel.
Guys, there are so many rows of chairs. He has to walk all the way to the back. There's so many chairs. You don't
Actually,
understand how big the room is.
In those settings, I just stay in the green room. I don't ever go into the auditorium. No, it's super fun. I mean, it's a giant camp. I think our youth pastor is actually at a CIY camp this week doing a preview service. And then this past weekend, a church plant. They're 10 years old, so they're not a church plant anymore. But a new church in Odessa, Texas, cold called me because they met us at S2 conference.
That's cool.
Which is a conference that me and Tim went to.
From last year?
From last year.
Oh.
They met us there. And they do this, dude, I love this. They do a summer series every year called Summer Slam. So
Summer Slam?
Summer Slam, like the wrestling event.
Sounds like a
So I'm going to assume that
This sounds like something Frank would
Was
love.
Goldberg there?
pastor of this church used to be a youth pastor.
I don't know. I think he was a youth pastor.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
so
yeah.
what is
There's no
Summer
way.
Slam?
So
There's
they-
no way that a
like-
small groups pastor would do Summer Slam. This is a
like-
former youth pastor.
Like Lakeview, they do chapter by chapter, verse by verse through books of the Bible. So they're
There you
actually in the
go.
book of Mark.
Yep.
But in the summer, to be able to be more flexible, they do a series called Summer Slam, where for like 6 weeks they bring in guest preachers to do one-off messages.
Sure.
And so they bring in a church planter in that series every single year to highlight a church planter.
That's cool.
And they asked me. And it was awesome. And so I got to go up there. I preached on Ephesians 2, 1 through 10. And
gold
I
text.
talked about the gospel. I talked about Crossing Crown Church. And it was so much fun. Never been to West Texas.
Hang on.
It's like
Caveat-
desert
Caveat.
climate.
West Texas is a city in East Texas.
What?
So you have
Are
never
you
been
serious?
to West, yeah, there's a city in Texas
confusing.
by Waco called West Texas.
Oh
so
my
you need
gosh.
to
I'm in the western part
There you
of
go.
the state of Texas.
never been to Western
45
Texas.
minutes away from the New Mexico border.
Wow.
And it has like a desert climate. Like it was dry.
It is.
And then the moment the sun went down, it was like nice.
Yeah, it
It's
gets
so
real
weird.
nice.
But yeah, man, it's some barbecue. It was a good time. Shout out Community Bible Church in Odessa, Texas. They're good people.
Frank, CJ's wondering, what movie did you reference in your summer sermon, Frank?
I did. I
He a big
there was-
movie quoter?
I did reference
At the
Avengers
movie. Frank
Endgame.
does his own At the Movie series every year.
I do not do at the movies.
Oh my
I did
gosh.
reference Avengers Endgame.
I'm just saying,
but
how
that's
is
it.
at the movies anything different than Paul referencing a poet?
Are you an
in
At the
which-
Movies
no,
apologist?
No, I'm just
Andrew
saying,
loves his At
I
the
am
Movie
saying
series.
if
Oh,
Paul,
man.
in his appeal to the people of Athens,
This is
can
an Adam
reference
Powers question.
can reference
yeah.
a poet and say, in which we live and move and have our being. He's referencing a popular poet of the day or a popular poem. If Paul can do that, should we be making fun of the megachurch up the street for doing At the Movies?
Yes.
Okay.
Go.
Why?
Just because you're quoting any other source does not mean you're validating that source.
Okay.
And second, we're not Paul.
Well, you're not.
That's for sure.
That's
for sure.
I've used movie references or in clips, especially in youth ministry day. But I'm saying,
Yeah. And third, last time I quoted a movie, no one knew it.
yeah, well,
Really?
That's
Yeah,
because
The
Adam
Matrix.
Only, I was gonna say Adam.
The 1999
only
original?
Yes.
Watches. Lord
It
of
was
the Rings
like,
and-
yeah, that's true. Lord of the Rings. Everyone's tired of those now.
We get it, Adam.
CJ says, Frank, are you preaching the same sermon everywhere you go, or are you preaching different things?
Yeah, that's a great question. At CIY,
He
summer
prepped
camp-
one sermon for his travels this year.
At summer camp, they're like the week of camp is in a specific theme, and so my theme was Hebrews 10 about how the veil is torn through the body of Christ, and so we have access to God directly. And so I preached a sermon about that at both of the camps, and then I have 2 sermons that are like in my pocket for whenever I'm guest teaching and promoting the church plant.
That's a
And so I
hot
did
take
Ephesians
right
2, 1
there.
through 10 for that.
Steph says, speaking of Waco, when do we start burning all of our Magnolia
I think
regalia?
you're fine. I think you're probably fine.
I've already burned it.
I don't know.
You just cut the sleeves off.
gonna be worth
It's
much.
Fine.
Oof.
It's
Oof, too soon?
fine.
Cut the sleeves off. Workout shirts now.
Here's what I want to know.
Yeah.
What is an easier summer? Preaching the same message at 6 different camps, or showing up just on Sunday morning and then being on vacation the rest of the week? So you have to write a different sermon, but you're not doing the regular day-to-day activities of the church, or preaching the same sermon multiple times.
What's your question?
Which is which is more of taking the summer off? if you're gone on a bunch of trips, but you show up on Sunday with a sermon to preach, or you preach the same sermon at 5 or 6 different locations.
Are you sermon writing on a boat?
I did this week.
Was it fun?
No, it was work. I mean, it's
different.
It's different, but it's still work.
Huh.
Did you get seasick?
No, I mean it was rocking a little bit. So the place with the best Wi-Fi is at like the top of the boat.
Oh no.
And it just so happens that was where certain.
Was it puke
people-
deck?
It was not the puke deck. It was the Viking Lounge. But it's also where certain meetups were happening. And so one night, my son and I were watching a movie on my laptop because he didn't want to be out doing all of the boat activities. And my niece messaged us through the Royal Caribbean app saying, "Hey, just so you know, in like 4 minutes is when the certain lifestyle meetup is supposed to be happening
What?
in the lounge where you guys are right now." Oh, nobody cares.
Vacate.
It wasn't very exciting.
What series are you listening this summer?
So
Like right now, like
So-
what was the sermon you were writing while you were seeing
So here's
gay
what we're-
people walk into your whatever the bar you're in?
there weren't any, but
Okay.
what we are doing right now is we're doing a series called Voices in the Wilderness, where we're getting ready to start what's going to be like a 25 or 30 week walk through John that's going to take us from August to Advent, and
love
then
John.
probably the beginning of
Good.
February through Holy Week, or the week after Easter.
How many John manuscripts did I send you? It was like 60.
All of them. I'm not going to use all of them, but
You're welcome.
thank you. I appreciate that. So we're going to be doing that. So right now we're to get ready for John, and also because it's July and we could have a completely different congregation from one week to the next with everybody traveling.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're doing
Us too.
a series that is really 3 standalone messages, but so last week was Moses, this week was Elijah, next week is Isaiah. So it's this idea of we're going through like whole passages of the calls of different people kind of coming out of the wilderness, speaking to the nation of Israel when God has been silent for a long period of time, to get ready for John the Baptist at the beginning of John. So it's essentially 3 standalone messages
Yeah.
posing as a series.
Also, if you have anthrax,
What?
sorry.
What is?
Edwin was pumping up his doctor, Dr. Solomon. He found a cure for anthrax. Frank says he's on a diet, so he can't. Stephanie's wondering if
What?
your doctor has a downline.
Why'd you put that on the screen?
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm assuming somebody is spamming us right now. I'm so
No, they
confused.
found a cure for anthrax. Dr. Solomon. This contact's right there. There's his cell. You can text him. Dr.
Yeah,
Solomon.
text
Not a
that.
sponsor of the show.
Text that plus 234.
Dr. Solomon 7016 at Gmail.
This is the equivalent to every time I get a spam call, my kids say, "Dad, answer the phone," because they know that I'm going to do something ridiculous with the spam caller. So sure, more often than not, I interact with said spam callers
Is
as long as my kids are in the
so-
car.
Is sermon writing on a boat harder than sermon writing in your office?
Yeah, I really don't write a lot in my office. I study in my office
Where do you write?
on my couch.
While watching sports?
No, again complete silence, TV off.
Wow.
I don't write with music. I don't.
Oh, I gotta have. music.
Yeah.
Instrumental
Background.
music. Instrumental
I've-
music.
Yeah.
I have way
Soundtracks.
too much adult ADD.
I can't
Yeah.
watch TV
Dude.
for sure.
I
So
can't-
you're just silence.
I am
just
silent.
like.
I can have music on when I'm like studying and like compiling things, but when I'm
I actually
actually
need silence when I'm reading. I'll go. I can't like.
and then I also dictate a lot, so I will.
Fair enough.
And so for that I need.
Interesting.
And same thing with when I'm grading papers, and so now it's my wife or kids will come in the room because they'll hear me talking, but I'm talking to my computer.
That's just Dad talking to himself.
Yeah, it's just Dad.
That's Dad.
City Lights, I'm with you. Writing is for coffee shops. I have done the bulk of my sermon writing at a Starbucks in Tampa over the last 3 months because my son's in a football training program.
Oh.
So 2-3 days a week, he's got 2 or 3 hours to kill over there, and he can't drive yet. So I'm
Chauffeur?
I'm the driver in
Yeah.
charge. So I will drop
Yeah.
him off. I'll go hang out at the Starbs for 2-3 hours, and that's been the bulk of
Nice.
my sermon writing for the
Writing.
last.
Did you bring a
coffee shop is
coat?
nice.
They're like 50 degrees in those.
It's always freezing.
Oh my gosh.
I get a 4-heater
know-
mug, and I get mini refills.
You guys could
For free.
just get a little bit more body fat, some insulation,
I
and
got-
you guys would be
Or high
comfortable
blood
at
pressure.
Starbucks. High blood pressure.
Fake
works
news.
too.
Fake news.
Frank,
Go
we should
listen.
compare blood
Hey,
pressure.
we should call this guy and see if we get some high blood pressure.
Dr. Solomon, can you help Frank and I with our high blood pressure?
This is a true story. Tim writes sermons to the Friday Night Lights soundtrack. I do.
What?
Explosions in the sky.
so good.
It's instrumental. It's uplifting. It's inspiring.
I listen to like metal music that's instrumental.
Instrumental metal. My sermons would be.
I
You
would
think I scream now? If I were to do that,
One of my favorites to listen to is Lord of the Rings, obviously background music, or 80s synthwave videos on YouTube.
I
It's
feel
like
that's just. It's like.
Sometimes
It's awesome.
Is that very Stranger Things-esque?
No.
complete silence.
It's epic.
Complete
So do you put in the AirPods and then go into like just silence and like
No.
block like
Yes.
noise cancellation?
I do.
wonder If
I do
your
too.
sermon
I
prep
do.
had music, you would stand up when you preach.
Probably not.
Wait, do you write? Do you write standing up?
No, I write kind
He
of
swaps them, swaps
reclined.
He writes standing up. and
I'm-
preaches.
I'm-
Like feet up. Like
You
I-
do
I-
not recline.
I'm on my couch. I'm laying down on my couch with my laptop.
Wait,
on
so you're
my
not sitting on the couch, you're laying on the couch.
With his feet propped up.
Do you have a zero gravity desk, like where
No,
it's like your knees are above your heart, just writing?
No, sometimes. Yeah.
This went a direction I did not anticipate.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
I
morning.
mean, before we got started, we were talking about the ways that we're using ChatGPT to help with sermon prep.
We can
didn't
go there.
talk about the reclining position that we write sermons in. Apparently, I'm the only one who
That might be worse than
likes
ChatGPT.
to be,
Comfortable.
spread out.
All right, well, let's go there. So Andrew, are you dipping your toe into
Yes.
the AI world for
Yes.
sermon help? What are you doing? How are you doing?
What's your AI? choice?
So
CJ says, Andrew, draw me like one of your French girls.
Yes,
What?
that's exactly how I write sermons, and I'm usually topless. So there's that to consider.
gosh.
I think
Just so you know, if any of your congregations watching this, now they know every one of your sermons is being read with you with no shirt on. Like that's
They're gonna picture you preaching with no shirt on now.
so weird.
Feet propped
our
up.
church is about to get a lot smaller.
Or a lot bigger.
That's true.
I feel like I'm good at like the hook, like what is a real life application or like what's a real life kind of tie into the text. Where I am not strongest is like action steps at the end. I think that's why when
Application.
you and I wrote so much together as youth pastors, I think that's where we got good, because I'd be like, hey, here's a good intro for this, and then the exegesis kind of takes care of itself by being exegetical, and then you would do a really good job of landing the plane. And so I will put the first 2,400 words of a manuscript into ChatGPT and be like, hey, I need some action steps or some applications that I can use for this. So that's one way that I'm using it. And summarizing commentaries. Hey, I want to have about 200 words on these 3 or 4 verses. Here's a bunch of words from this, and this commentary.
Matt's wanting someone to bring Andrew a prop part of the ocean pendant.
He needs a Viking Lounge pendant.
The Viking Lounge pendant.
That's what the new name of the
Yes.
church is going to be. You keep preaching with your shirt off.
Be real- So there was a Passover service on the cruise ship, and I just thought, it made sense because Friday night going into Saturday. Wouldn't
Sure.
it be cool to be the cruise line preacher? You'd have 12 people showing up.
That'd be fun.
and
Different crowd every
different
week
crowd-
almost.
So that's kind of like
I've
Frank
actually
at
thought about
camp.
that before.
You can just preach the same sermon.
Is
every
there
week.
such a thing?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I think it used to be.
like a
I
chapel.
don't think it exists anymore.
Also, when Melissa and I got married 20 years ago, we got on the boat, and the captain did like 6 weddings right in a row.
Really?
And we had been married for like 3 days. Like, oh, that's kind of cool. I did not see any, because the getting married at sea, the captain has the ability to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I thought that would be an interesting gig. Could I be in my retirement? Could I be a cruise ship chaplain, helping people get their 3rd and 4th marriages knocked out?
I have thought about could I do
There are
worship
other questions to
services
ask.
at like Epcot.
I've wondered
for
that.
Easter.
Yeah.
because they have those churches that come out
Yeah.
for Easter and Christmas.
Uh-huh.
And boys, and Adam, you should come with us to this. That Christmas Eve reading thing.
So good.
Candlelight processional.
Oh, it's
every
better
year.
than some mega churches, dude.
Every
It is so good.
And
Especially if you get Neil Patrick
I was
Harris.
like, so if you have Doogie Howser,
When
Doogie?
when he does the reading,
We're being for real.
You-
I got
he
he
emotional.
literally
how good
does
this
the
was.
best one.
he does not believe a word of what he's saying, but boy, does
good.
he sell
But
it.
the choir
Wow.
singing these like beautiful hymns.
Huh.
It is.
My
epic.
wife sent me the link to try out
Oh,
to be
wow.
one of the seasonal voices of Liberty, and like
Did you get a call back?
there's like, here's this. If you're a baritone, here's the song we want you to sing, And I was like, should I do this? Would this be hilarious if I sang all these and sent them in?
Andrew, you know one of my former youth group students is
But she's a full-time Voices of
one
Liberty.
of the voices
Yeah.
of Liberty, and she is outstanding.
She sings better than I do.
Slightly. All right,
Yeah.
back to the AI topic. Are you using it every week? Is this just every now and then, or has this become part of your weekly routine when it comes to sermon writing?
It has for me.
How so? What are you doing?
I never use it
for the 2
to.
times a summer that you preach.
Hang on, Adam. Before you jump in there, I want you
Yeah.
to follow up this comment with yours.
Okay.
Matt says, someone confronted me a few weeks ago and said, if I use ChatGPT to create any parts of my message, he thinks I should resign immediately.
Wow.
So,
Listen,
Adam, tell us
Matt,
about how you're using
I have
ChatGPT
Yeah.
in your
I
sermon
have
writing
opinions
process.
about people in your church resigning that we shouldn't discuss on this podcast.
Yeah, I
But,
feel bad for Matt. That's like a black eye from a church member that probably has suspicious towards all things
Yep.
technology. But I
you're
never
not using
use
a typewriter.
ChatGPT to create.
Okay.
I always use it to fetch or
Refine.
to assess. So I write my entire sermon, like 3,100 word manuscript.
Yep.
I copy paste, put it in there, and I say evaluate, assess, critique, and give me 3 or 4 recommendations on how to make this better,
great.
more practical, and more relatable to a modern audience. And generally about 60% of their recommendations are really good. 40% are like the Dr. Solomon spam. It's like, where is this coming from?
I get a lot of
Interesting.
because I dictate so much instead of just typing.
Really?
Sometimes Apple Pages gets a bit confused and has me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I mumble and then it just puts random curse words in there. Oh, I regularly when I go through ChatGPT, is like, did you mean to say this? Like, no, I did not.
No, that's a good catch.
That
Thank
is a
you.
good catch. Thank you.
So, Adam, is this an every week process for you
Jerry.
now? Has it
Yeah.
become a
Oh.
weekly
Yes, yes.
Jerry's here. I love you, Jerry.
thing? Jerry
Yes, it
says,
has.
dudes, it's been so long. Glad to join live. Agreed. Frank, walk us through your AI process right now. Is it weekly? I mean, I don't know if you're writing
When I'm
weekly, but
preaching-
when you are writing.
What's been really interesting is, like for example, I've taken old sermons and put it in there to what you just did, punch it up, find ways I can do better. In my last church, we had a sermon critique process, so you had to have your sermon done by Thursday.
Yeah,
and
that's
then you
so
would go
helpful.
into a sanctuary where 6 people
Wow.
would hear your sermon
Beautiful.
and then give you feedback. We don't have that here.
That's a good plan.
Yeah,
I like that
We
plan.
should install that. And what I do is basically
Do you
function as
think Paul ever
ChatGPT.
preached his sermons to an empty room before the people of Athens?
There were 6 people in that room. So it wasn't-
6 people. Souls.
All right, so you're using it as
I do use it as a critique process, but I will say I've done this one time, and I was so impressed with it. I can't wait to use it again. Is the deep research function on ChatGPT as a way to create sermon briefs. And so basically, I will feed it commentaries. I go to Logos. I can just copy all my commentaries, and I'll say, based on my commentaries and these trusted sources, give me a sermon brief on my text. I've already done some work. I did an outline, and then I'll read, and it'll produce like a 30-page sermon brief with like historical context, grammatical context, all this other stuff. Basically,
Jerry's
what Logos would do for you, except in a more concise way where I don't have to flip through a bunch of different things. So somehow I'm paying for Logos and still using ChatGPT, but actually Logos is already paid for it. But it's been really helpful. But I think the very useful part is at the end where I write my whole sermon and I'll ask for feedback, and it'll tell me stuff like, one question I would ask is, show me the parts where someone may
Zone out.
rebuff it or put that in zone out. That'd be good. Like, it's very
Yeah.
boring parts, but like parts where like if someone were to give feedback that would be like, I disagree with this, or your statement's vague and lacks support. Like, tell me where those are, and I can reword that. Does that make sense? So
Yeah, that's good.
Basically, I want it to be very critical. But the thing about ChatGPT is you have to tell it to be critical.
It's all about
Right.
the prompt.
Because
Yeah.
ChatGPT
It
will
will-
be
it
like,
will butter
you're
you
the
up.
best,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, be a jerk to me because I need to
Yeah,
know.
right.
Mine will be like
I can handle it.
based on
We've received words from church members.
Yeah,
We
oh,
can
yeah.
handle
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
mine will be like based on your personal history at Dallas Seminary and Liberty. You probably have this perspective. Have you
Right.
considered this?
Have you considered that your perspective is wrong?
But no, it's like, have you considered this type of historic perspective, or the Eastern Church
That's
puts it
good.
this way?
That's helpful.
Kind of thing.
More global
Yeah.
of a view. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
so-
that.
So not an American dispensationalist.
Well said.
Yeah. So
well
like,
said.
that's
More global, the better.
Yeah, I think that's very, very helpful.
Amen.
I'm a big fan of using it with transitions because we do exegetical verse by verse, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to transition better between verses 3 and 4.
well said, well said.
What are some good transitional statements here? And it'll pump that out. What I've also done, so it sounds
Moving on to the next verse.
Yeah, you don't want to sound just like a commentary.
like
yeah.
better. It needs to be better than that. So I've also I've fed it everything I can about me. So there's actually an offloading feature in all of your social medias that I didn't know about, but I offloaded all of my social media into a specific file because I asked chat how to do this.
Huh.
It was about 6 gigs worth, and I gave it my entire life on all of my social media. And then I fed it every sermon I've ever written. So it has all of my words that I've ever written. So I want it when it gives me things, I want it
Yeah.
to sound like Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's able to talk to me like it is me, which
Oh my
might be
gosh.
slightly dangerous now that I think about that. My kids are terrified that I've given it basically everything I've ever done. But when it comes to cranking some of these things out, I don't want it to sound robotic. It needs to sound at least like me. Jerry, this is kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
He says use AI to enhance. He said I read an interesting article about AI results in erosion of critical thinking, so I am on guard regarding that.
I think I read that same article. It was alarming the percentage of like brain capacity that diminishes
It's
the
terrifying.
more you use this stuff.
CJ says I'm using it for small group questions. This is
That's
huge.
another great one.
We do that
This one
too.
works
Yep.
We do the
so
same thing.
well, so well.
Every week, we take the sermon manuscript, the actual like transcript from the sermon,
Yep.
and have it create a paragraph blurb to our weekly email, so that way people can be like, it's basically like a blurb that says like what the sermon was about, so they can, if they want to go back and watch the sermon. And then we are using this tool where we can upload our live feed of the sermon,
Yep.
and it cuts up the clips.
No way.
And
Have you
so
seen
Oh, that's
that?
nice.
Very
all the
That's
social
nice.
clips.
Very
It's just
Yeah.
AI.
Restream is doing their own version of that now
Not
as well,
surprised. That makes sense.
because they already have the video. So why not?
How about AI in the rest of the world? Steph says, I input all of our homeschool curriculum, and I told Nigel, she's named Chat Nigel, by the way.
Nigel.
I want a 4-day school week, Fridays are flex days, and he wrote my entire lesson plan for each kid. I told him when we want to finish all the curriculum by, and he wrote it for me, including all of our breaks. ChatGPT can be beneficial if used correctly.
Yeah.
I think there are pros and cons here. It can be
Yeah,
very, very
for sure.
helpful. It can become a major crutch.
I think
Mm-hmm.
it can
sure.
certainly become a major group.
I think
but
personifying
like so many
is scary.
things, it's
Calling him hate.
We've all watched Terminator.
yes.
Many, many times. T2 is one of
Also,
my all-time favorite movies.
Sarah
We know how
Connor
this
in the
ends.
new Stranger Things trailer.
I saw that.
She is?
I
Yeah,
didn't
she's
know
in the
that. I
trailer.
didn't know that she was cast.
She's in the
and my
trailer.
wife's like, "How did you not know?" But so I was
Isn't
very.
there a Joaquin Phoenix movie called Her that's
Yep.
about this?
Her was way ahead of its
Oh,
time.
wow.
Saw her in theaters and thought, "This is
No
gonna-
way.
Like I just like in my head, I was like,
You're
this
like,
is
that'll
gonna
never
be- yeah.
happen.
There's people already talking about. I mean, what was the thing? Was a podcast talking about like the future concerns we're gonna have is people like wanting to marry their AI
Yeah.
agent or person.
Yeah, that's what the movie was about, right?
Yeah, but like that's like a concern. Is like today issue is like gender identity, sexual identity. The future is gonna be like people not wanting to actually have a physical relationship because they're gonna have an AI relationship.
I think what's really scary is the rate at which it's expanding. Because even before
Yeah.
we took our break, like we would talk AI every now and then, but now it's become integrated into like almost every aspect of our lives.
Adam, what is the AI policy at Trinity for students?
I'm just an adjunct professor. I
Yeah.
don't know, but I
CJ
do
says
know that.
transhuman is the next thing.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is a very real thing. It's actually a really popular sci-fi thing right now. I follow
What?
a couple of accounts
Really?
on the socials
way.
that are very interesting.
So, because when ChatGPT first became available to the public, I think it was November of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
By January of 2023, Dallas had a new AI policy in place. Like mid academic year, they came up with it. And then John Dyer, if you don't follow him on Twitter, he's fantastic. He's the guy behind the y'all version
Okay.
of the Bible.
my gosh.
But he's also just a great for all things social and
He's a good
church.
follow.
Yeah, he's a really good follow. But he's in admin at Dallas Seminary now. He was a student there like a generation ahead of me. So I think his last year was my first year. But way smarter than me. But he
Andrew John says.
John Barnes, hey buddy.
John says hey.
But so he kind
Hey,
of
John.
he wrote a really kind of robust AI policy for the seminary. Whereas
Do you think he used AI to write the AI
I do
policy?
not.
Oh.
I do
write a
not.
policy to protect me from you.
Yes. But include a line of code in there where you can take over. But
Yeah.
But Liberty, specifically the School of Divinity, has a policy that's basically saying we're not going to police this because students.
That's
are
impossible.
Students are going to find ways to
Right.
get around it. We had professors that were against using any online resource 20 years ago, and now
Yeah.
most of our degree programs are offered completely online.
Isn't it true
So-
that most schools now are not like anti, but they're like, here's how
Here's
we're
how
going
to
to teach
ethically
the kids
use it,
how to
yeah.
use it the
Yeah.
best
Yeah,
way
they
possible,
realize
right?
it's-
And the other thing that we found, like from the first year and a half of data at Liberty, was that it was flagging students who English is not their first language far more often
Oh, wow.
than native English speakers, because there's a more mechanical way that you write and process. Especially if we've got some students from a lot of students from Korea. Their stuff was getting flagged more heavily than anyone else's, and they weren't using AI. It's just
Yep.
that mechanical writing style when you're thinking in one language and writing in another.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that was very.
It happened to my daughter
I
last
think-
year in high school.
Wow.
She's like, Dad, I did not use AI.
I think
And
it's
it came
very-
back 90% AI.
very-
And she was like, no, I didn't use AI.
I think it's just a neat thing that both schools are very forward thinking and came up with two very different
Yeah.
results.
Nerd alert, Steph says, I put my entire Goodreads account with my book ratings into
Nice.
chat, and he gives me incredible book recommendations. I haven't read an under 4-star read all summer. Adam, that could be for you.
Well, she's been reading Lord of the Rings all summer, clearly.
Non-stop. Lord
That's
of
all
the
she's
Rings
reading.
For
She's
Stephanie.
been reading Adam Powers' Lord of the Rings fan fiction. It's
all
so good.
summer.
So good.
Oh
long.
my gosh.
I will
Basically,
say,
it's just Legolas's workout plan over
There
and
you go.
over and
There you
over
go.
for Adam.
Andy, my eldest has a job interview today, so we were working through everything this weekend, and I said,
Where?
I said, Amy, just talk to chat for a minute, set up a mock job interview. So she did. She set up a mock interview with ChatGPT.
Ryan, what's up, buddy?
She's interviewing for a position at an establishment known as Chick-fil-A.
I've heard of it.
And she
My
has an
pleasure.
interview in about an hour. And I read through the entire mock interview, and it was gold.
Did ChatGPT just keep saying, my pleasure?
It said, make sure to say my pleasure at the end if they say thank you. It literally said that, Frank.
That's really funny.
That's so funny.
Wow.
It was awesome.
That's really funny. I got to tell you about one thing that I did yesterday. Sometimes when you're not following your notes as carefully as you should.
That's
Dad,
so
every week.
again,
Steve Miller.
We were in.
Called you out.
We were.
Hey,
in,
to be fair, the last service he did follow his notes, and it was 12 minutes shorter. 12 minutes!
Well, we
That
were in
happens.
1 Kings.
No
18,
rabbit trails.
And I typically preach out of the NIV because that's what most people's phones pull up when they open their phones. And in the NIV,
Hey, Ryan.
when Elijah is mocking the prophets of Baal, it just sounds like he's like, hey, maybe your God is away right now, when we clearly know that
Yeah.
the context that he's using is that, no, your God is on the potty.
Right.
And so I was saying, it makes me feel better as a preacher because I am not Elijah. I am not the voice that God is using to reach a nation and bring their hearts back to God. Maybe not now.
Yeah.
We'll see. Give me 6 months, but we'll see. But the fact that Elijah not only is saying, I'm the only one of God's prophets left, I'm like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
First of all, you're being a drama queen. And second of all, you're making poop jokes in like your most famous public sermon ever.
You'll be remembered forever.
You're,
for
making,
true.
you're making poop jokes. And that makes me feel a lot
Perhaps
better
they're
about myself.
relieving themselves.
Yes, that makes me feel so much better as a preacher that if Elijah can
You're not Elijah.
throw a pity party for himself,
And be known for poop jokes.
be known for poop
then
jokes.
so can we.
then I too can sit down to preach.
Wow.
Different kind of.
Wow.
I was just very proud of that, and I thought I'd share it with you all.
John is right, though. I think that this is how a lot of people felt about the book back when Luther
Yeah.
used it in Germany in the 16th century.
How dare
They
you
were
give
like,
people their own
only the
Bibles?"
scroll.
Yes.
And he's like, no, books. And all of a sudden, Germany's never the same.
Every technological advancement, this conversation happens.
That's true. There's progressives and fundamentalists and everything, right?
Well, you guys
sure
want to know
are.
what I want to be fundamental about?
Lunch.
Lunch.
Yeah, let's go. Hey, it's about that time. You have actual work to do. City Lights Church, sorry, your break is over. Get back to work. We've got lunch to eat. We've got things to discuss at lunch and not on a camera.
Yeah.
Boys and girls,
It's going to be great.
we miss you, but hey, we'll be back. Andy,
Next week.
If Andrew's not on a boat, we'll probably be
I'm
right
not
here.
on any more boats. I'm here.
Andrew will be in his recliner.
I'll be-
shirtless.
I will not be shirtless in my recliner next week, Monday at 11 a.m.
Let's go
Tim
take
will
our
be here
shirts
in a
off and get on the
tank top
couch.
And shorter shorts.
I don't know. if
Sun's
that's
out, thighs
possible.
out. Coming at you
If
next
Tim
week.
is wearing shorts any shorter, it'll be the Will Ferrell skit from SNL back in the day where they called them short shorts. They were not shorts. They just called them shorts to get them past the NBC censors. We know what these were. Hey, we'll see you next week.
I'm hungry. See you guys.